Hey everyone, it's Brick Waffle here, Brick Waffle the Blaze today, and I am back. We're going to start by doing something I think that will be a little interesting. It's unique for me. I know other people have done this before, but you might be able to tell from my inventory. Today we're going to kill 8 withers. And we need to kill those 8 withers to get 8 nether stars so that we can make a wither killer and check one more thing off of our to-do list. So I've got a couple of things here. I've got our sniping stone figurine of speed, and I've got a painful gold staff of seeing that gives us night vision when used. And as a blaze, we're going to have fire resistance already. Really nice armor here with lots of protection on it, and titanium sword. So this should be enough. We're going to go to our new location we set out here, Wither Cave, rather. So let's put this back in our inventory for now, and let's use our staff of night vision. Maybe? Can you do it? There it goes. Maybe it's a little bit of lag there. Hopefully we don't need that during the fight, but just in case, what we're going to do. So what we've got down here is a cave with not much room to hide in. Actually, maybe I should go ahead and dig out a little tunnel for their initial explosions. Let's go back this way a little bit. And with all this haste and obsidian tool, that should be no problem at all. But what we're going to do is we're going to place down all these skulls, and I'm going to start at that end and put them all down here. And then I'm going to do my best to kill 8 withers on camera. So hopefully this is going to work out really well. And let's go ahead without further ado. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 withers. Okay, so there we go. There are 8 nether stars. We have a bunch of stuff laying around here. We're about to lose night vision again. Let's hit that up again. And let's get our magnet out of here for a minute. Throw that out, and let's start putting stuff into the network. So we're going to put our iron ore in there, cobblestone, all the extra ore we're grabbing right now. There we go. Now we're getting a lot of stuff to put away. And 8 nether stars. That's a very important thing. Okay, so we'll fly around here real quick, collect a little bit of the debris that we've collected from all the wither explosions. I know there were some diamonds over here at one point. I think we may have lost those. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna find more diamonds, I'm sure of it. And here we are. Okay, that's looking good to me. So let's go ahead and take these last few things, throw those back here, put the items we don't need at the moment back in our bags, those 2 things, and let's go back to the waffle base. Check that out. Waffle base. Nice. Okay, so the reason that that was so important is to make the wither killer. And I think in the last episode we showed that that was downstairs, ready to go. We just needed this wither killer block. And I've made everything else I need except for this imbued nether star. And there we go. 8 nether stars was all we had left. And wither killer. Now that we have that, though, we can take our wither skulls and some soul sand. Soul sand? Oops. That's weird. Actually, let's just do this in a nice even way. So there's 3 of those and 2, 3, 4 stacks of soul sand. That'll work out perfectly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the wither killer machine, and we're going to end up with 64 nether stars. So there we go, wither killer. It's lit up. That looks good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, yep, I think you can hear that. It's going to start making the killing a wither sound, and it takes a few seconds. I mean, this isn't super fast, but it doesn't need to be because it's automatic wither farming. I can't remember exactly how long it takes. There we go, 1 nether star and 63 to go. So we can leave this. It's going to work on its own as long as the chunk is loaded, and we'll come back in a later episode, or later in this episode, I mean, and we'll get 64 nether stars. I keep calling them wither stars. But, more importantly, we can check something off the to-do list. So there we go, kill 8 withers, make a wither killer. Alright, so in a little bit of a departure from the way I normally do videos, you can see that I've done something else different here since the last clip there. Normally I do my videos over the course of an evening or maybe over the course of a couple of days. This one's actually been a little more than a week and a half in the making because I just haven't had a chance to sit down and play Minecraft and record. But yeah, so in the last clip we built the Wither Killer and we got some skulls. And what I've done here is I've put in some beacons. So if we go down to our first sub-basement, and you can see we can't go down any further. If we look down here, you can see there's the big iron pyramid for the beacons, and then our elevators have been moved over to the side to accommodate that, and that lets us go all the way down to the bottom. So that's the only thing I've really done in between clips, but I thought this was kind of neat, and I wanted to come up here at some point, and I also put out, and you can see it's been snowing, I put out some markers here of where I want to, yeah, good, I'm ablaze. I want to put out a bigger building on top of this, so from the outside of our base, it doesn't look that impressive yet. We've got our kind of inside looking the way I like it, and we've got this one little box out here for our end portal, but we want to have something that looks really cool out here that's really visible from a long way off, and I think the beacons are going to help draw attention. But at some point I also want to do that kind of top. I think I called this the upper dome on my to-do list here. So let's look at that. Yep, plan upper dome, and we're going to actually create upper dome, and I think it's going to be a dome shape, but if not, when we're playing around with this, we'll see how it goes. What we've got over here is just some corp blocks, some of the generic ones, and that's not going to stay this way because these don't look at all, the same as what we've got already. But this was just to plan out how big it's going to be. So to get an idea, if that was a circle, it'd be about that big around and probably a big bubble up on top of it. I've also thought about maybe lowering that down and having the circle start kind of at this glass level here where the floor is for that and come out the same distance. And that way the flat part's kind of in the mountain a little bit. And I might do that as well. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of options there and see what we think. But I wanted to do a couple of bits of planning as well because one thing I've noticed when I've been logging on, oops, this way, is that I keep running out of power. So when I don't log on for a few days, the reactor back at Spawn Town keeps running out of juice, and you can see this is slowly refilling up to 39 million again, and we're pulling a lot of power from there. But I think it might be time to build our own reactor, and that way we can process our Elorium from our quarry, feed the reactor, all that good stuff. But I'll tell you, I haven't been collecting any of the pieces for that yet. We do have a bunch of reactor casings, though, and that's going to help, because that's the main piece you need to make almost everything else. So the reactor controller needs a bunch of those, and some diamonds. Reactor power tap we would need. That's good. We would need an access port, at least one of those, and we might want to do 2 of those. We're missing a piston. Okay. Yep, reactor access port. Can we do 2 of those? Yep, we can. And then a computer port, because we're going to want to put in one of the computer craft controllers for that. And then some Elorium fuel rods. These are actually pretty easy as well. So we need, I think we're going to need, if we make it 3 deep inside, we're going to need, 15 of these? Do I have enough graphite for that? Oh man. Look at that. Even without planning it, we've got enough stuff here. And we're going to be a little short on reactor casings to actually build this thing. But that is probably pretty doable too. So we get 4 more, 27. Might have to make some more graphite. So let's just go ahead and put that on the list for now, and that's something else we're going to tackle. Big reactor. And let's just be nice about this. Build a big reactor, the same way we've got everything else. Okay, perfect. So we'll have to find a place for that. We'll set all that stuff up. For now, what I want to do is just put all this stuff in my bag, and we'll plan that project out here in a little bit. I want to go back to the upper level here and do a little bit of clearing and see what I think it's going to look like if we did our upper dome at the floor level, wherever that window is, at the floor level here. And so that's actually going to be down, what is that, 1 more block or 2 blocks? Let's just pop in here. Okay, so that's the right level. If we did our floor at this level, we might even be able to take those windows out in the future. So let's put that back for now and put that back for now. And then we'd have to just kind of clear all this out in every direction out to the distance of that thing. So we'll probably want to get a circle planer in here at some point, but what we're going to do for now is just take all this out and then we'll make a building guide. So this is kind of boring to watch, but it doesn't take too long. I want to talk to you guys a little bit. We're about to hit a big milestone. As of the time I'm recording this video, I have 98 videos on YouTube. And I was thinking about doing an episode 100 special, but it isn't really episode 100 of any particular series. It's just the 100th video I've done. And some of you probably don't watch all of my series. That's okay. I hope you guys are enjoying what you are watching. I know some of you do watch everything I make, and I really appreciate that. And I just want to take a real quick second to thank everybody for all the likes and support that I do get on these videos. It really encourages me to keep doing this. It really means a lot to me. And I don't want to do a whole lot just yet, but if you guys have an idea for what we might want to see in the, well, when I upload this, it'll be episode or video 99. So in the next episode, what would you like to see as far as a video 100 mile marker? I think I'm going to do a little bit more of a talky episode there, talk about some plans for the channel and plans for the future. Nothing drastic. Whoop. Ooh, good thing we can fly. But just to kind of keep you guys in the loop on what I'm thinking about and get your feedback there. So yeah, look forward to that. And that's all I'm going to say about it at this point, but I'm really excited. It does not feel like I've made 100 videos on YouTube. That's really a lot. And I'm really, really grateful that I'm in a position that I can even do this at all. And it's a hobby for me. I do have a full-time job. This is not something I do for a living. I've never gotten a check from YouTube for the ads I have. I just don't get enough views to make that worthwhile yet. But that's something else we can talk about, is whether or not we even need to continue having ads, if you guys mind them, if you really hate them, if you think you'd watch more videos if I didn't have ads. That's good for me to know as well. It may just be something that, I left on by default and don't need to really worry about too much anymore, and just turn them off and just do this for the sake of doing it and not try to make any kind of money on it. Because like I said, I don't have enough viewers yet that it's going to make me a lot of money, and it's not why I do it. Okay, so let's throw all this stuff in there. I think that was a little bit rambly, but that's all right. I think you guys get the idea. So let's come back down. Let's get those things too. Oops, not that. This way. And I think what we want to do is just take these corp blocks down and put them at the same level. And no, we're going to go out that far. So what did I say this was? I think it's 14 or 15. No, I didn't make myself a bibliocraft ruler, did I? Let's do that too. Let's hop back in here and let's get some materials. And I think it's this way. Nope, I keep doing that. I need to also put some kind of arrows on here. And there are some arrow blocks in the laboratory. That might be worth doing right now, actually. Especially with those beacons. So I've got the laboratory blocks, and I've got a chisel. And then I want to make a tape measure. I think that needs a tape measure reel. Oh, I don't have any yellow dye. Okay. So dandelion yellow. I don't have any essence crops. We can get some dandelion yellow, make that tape measure in a little bit. That's going to be really helpful, because that'll help you see how many blocks across something is. So chisel, there it is. Let's throw these lab blocks in here, and we've got some that are, oops, let's do one of those, and one of those, and put the rest as just wall panels for now. Throw those in there. Throw that back in there, and we've got a left and a right, and I think what we want to do is just have them pointing towards the, oops, let's see what that looks like. Yep, that's the right way. And then over here we're going to do it, that's the right way, and then let's throw these guys back in here. So that'll be pointing towards the area where we have all of our stuff and things. And yeah, I know you can tell I watch Slipgator a lot, sorry. That's where we keep all of our AE network and our power and all that good stuff. Okay, so, well, that's interesting. Oh, that's just the way that ceiling lines up there. So we were going to go make that tape measure. I need to get some dandelion yellow for that, so getting a yellow flower won't be too big of a deal here. Let's go out and let's see. Here are some dandelions right here. Perfect. Hey, guy, I got. Okay, there's dandelion turned into dandelion yellow. And if you've never used Bibliocraft, that's weird. If you've never used Bibliocraft before, okay, that was just a bug. Then they've got some really cool stuff in there, even if you don't like the whole decorating your house like a library kind of aspect of it, which the decorative blocks look really good, don't get me wrong. There's some really functional things in here too. So this tape measure, once I have that, and this, check this out. So when I have this in my hand, I can right click a spot right there, and I can say, I want to measure over to here. And you can see in my chat there, it says starting measurement north to south 13. You can see that block there, and it shows how far I am away from this thing. So over here, you can see it updating. I'm at 12, 16 meters. It just updates. So you can kind of get to use this for surveying. And it does say I'm 3 meters away when I'm at point blank, and I think that's because I placed it when I wasn't, oops, when I wasn't ready. So if I place it right on the block I'm standing on, is that right? 7 meters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so it takes it into account the block that it's on as well. I'm not sure why it says 3 there, but that's okay because this thing in chat is what I really was concerned about. So let's pop up here again, and we're going to come out here. So from the base, we put one there, and we measure over to this side. It's 15 blocks. And then if we measure over here, and then measure to this side, that's 14 blocks. And I think that was intentional. I want this to not be a perfect circle because this is actually a little wider this direction than it is along this direction. And we could, we could compensate for that, but I actually like it to be a little bit of an oval. So that just means we need to come out 14 on the wide side and 15 on the long side. And we can figure out what material we want to do that with. let's go ahead and put this away, grab our terminal here, and let's use the seared, do we have seared stone? I have no, okay, I have a lot of seared stone. Let's grab some of that. And we're gonna put out a big pattern of this here. Just come out 15 here, 1, 2, 3, there we go, and all that. Let's fall off of there real quick, fly back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that should match up. Yep, it does. And we're gonna do the same thing over here, and then we're gonna get rid of this guide up at the top. So one thing that's gonna be a little bit tricky is what I was planning on using is the builder's guide, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, but the downside to that, and that might bother some of you, but it won't bother me, is that it only makes like circles. It doesn't really make ovals, and I didn't pay attention to how I was counting this time. So it might be a little bit tricky to do exactly what we want to do with it. Is that right? No. Let's just use our tape measure again and confirm that. So that guy there to that guy there is 15, perfect. And we're gonna make one of those in just a second, like I said. But what it's gonna do is help us plan out a perfect circle, and then we're just gonna have to wing it a little bit on the edges. 5, 6, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're gonna wing it a little bit on the edges to make sure that it lines up nicely and gets to do what we wanna do. And you'll see what I mean when I actually have this thing. Oop, no, not there. So let's go ahead and finish this last one. We'll take out those core blocks, and I'll be back when I have the builder's guide. Alright, so I've got this builder's guide set up, and this is going to be a little bit tricky to use because where I want to use it is right here on this elevator. So that's what I'm going to do for now. And what this does is you can see changing the size to 8 by 9 by 8, 8 by 10 by 8, and whatever side you're clicking on, in theory it's going to go up or down. So I'm trying to change that a little bit. 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's kind of going the way I'm facing, and I think that's 14 that way. And then if I go this way, nope, that didn't work either. Alright, so I gotta get on the right side of this thing. There we go. I want that to be 15 from the edge here, which is 2 more, 16, 17. And that's gonna be 14. Nope, 14 from, where is it? There it is. So I need to somehow get underneath this. Or is that gonna actually change the Y height? Okay, so it's gonna, we want it to go to dome mode. Shift right click to change the mode. 17 by 17 by 18. Actually, let's see what this is doing. So if we put a lever on this and turn it on, you can see, let's pop up here. It's going to show me what the dome pattern would look like, and I need to go back into blaze mode. So this is what a dome would look like, and you'll see it's going to be off a little bit on one side because this is a perfectly spherical dome, and we don't have a perfectly spherical base. So that would come a few blocks off the edge. We're going to need to fix that. That will come right onto the edge of that, which is perfect. So it needs to shrink in a little bit. What is it, 2, 3 blocks this direction, and we're going to have to kind of wing it on this one a little bit over here, or everything will be offset just a tiny, tiny bit, and that could be okay too. So let's, oh, that's right, got to drop down this side, and I'm going to break it and replace it, because I think what I'm going to have to do is see about the default. No, it still says 17 by 17 by 20. Okay, so let's break that, and we're going to have to break this elevator block as well, I think. Yep, there we go. And I don't know what the height parameter is, so let's get the lever back on there. And that should be pretty obvious, is it? Let me hop up here. So that's the flatness of it. That middle parameter is the Y coordinate. So we want this to be, that's 4 blocks. We need it to be at least probably 10 or 12. Let's hop in this side. And then I think that's going to be here, the middle parameter. Yep. Let's go up to 10. Let's see what that would look like. Hop up. And this is really, really helpful because it gives you a good idea of what this thing is going to look like when we're all done. It kind of looks like a big mushroom, but I think that's actually what I want to do. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's pop down here again, and let's on this side change that to, which side is that bringing in? It's not bringing in the side I want. I think that's bringing out in the short side that's already, yeah, okay. So we need to put that one back out. And it's still a bit tricky to use because you got to get on the correct side of this. So 17. Is that going to take me to the right end? So that's going to be one short here and right on the edge that side. That's okay. That's what we want. And then on this one, we need this to come in a little bit. So that's 21, 22. Let's bring that back in. 17, 16? That might be right. Let's hop up here. Okay, so it's overlapping that side, and it should be overlapping that side as well. So yeah, this is going to be the plan for building the dome. And now we can leave this on while we're placing blocks, and we know exactly where we have to place each block to make this dome pattern. So that's really, really, really helpful. And like I said, the trick here is going to be just offsetting this a tiny bit. So this is going to have to come out by 1 on that side. And then the middle row, whatever the middle row is, I think that's this one right now. We're just going to have to duplicate that 1. So what we'll probably do is build this half that way. And then we'll just pick it up and move the whole dome over by 1 block and finish the other side. Alright, so with that in mind, let's get some seared stone to do the base of this. And hopefully it will become clear once I've done this. So what we want to do is bring this out, following these ghost blocks, like that, and then over here, and then like this. I don't know if you guys can see that very well on camera or not. I'm not worried about extra ones on the inside because eventually we're going to fill in that floor anyway. It's a little bit hard to see. I apologize for that. But there we go. So that gives us the perfect line of the dome on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of this floor in and probably do like 1 strip in the centers to kind of throw like a support on so I can turn this off and build without it because it is a little hard to look at. And I'll catch back up with you guys when I have the outside of the dome put together. Okay, just a quick progress update. I was building this at nighttime. It's actually really easy to follow with the dark blocks and the light. But looking at this at nighttime, we're going to have to incorporate a lot of light into this because that looks really cool. So maybe some kind of lighted glass would look really good in there. But you can see the frame of this now, and imagine if that was lighted glass, and you can see all the black blocks in here that are kind of matched up just nicely. You see that this one is a little offset because I moved the building guide over, but this one lines up just perfectly. So that's going to be really hard to notice that this isn't a perfect circle. It's only 1 block difference from a perfect circle. And I think that's going to look really good. So then that's really all we wanted to do with this. The next thing we have to do is figure out exactly what materials we want to use and actually build the thing. So we've got some zombies out there. We know that's going to be not much of an issue for us at this point. Let's throw these things back in here for now. And we're going to fill in, come back up here. We're going to fill in all of this circle at the bottom with seared stone, I think, for now. And then we might do some fancy stuff with the floor later on. But that's going to require me to dig out another chunk here, 1 level down, dig out another chunk here, this little bit, you know, fill this whole thing in, and then I'm probably going to use either glowstone glass or maybe vibrant quartz glass or something like that for the dome. And I might try doing it just that simple, like seared stone and glass for now, and then we can go back and add the details once we have the functional dome up and running. So I'll be back with you guys in another progress update. Alright, let's take a look at this from, take a look at this from the outside here. We finished up all the glass on the outer edges here. It looks a little bit strange, but I kind of like it actually with all the different lines going through it. We're going to do some more decorating on this, and I wish I could make it nighttime really easily here, but I will show you this again at nighttime here in a little bit, because this is all, what is it called, enlightened clear glass? Yeah, so this all emits light as well. It looks really, really cool at nighttime. And so we're definitely not going to call this finished yet, but now what we can do is we can actually open this up. So instead of having these windows here, we can just knock all that out, and pretty much knock all of this out except for the corner pieces, I think. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. Oops, got a little bit more of that. A little hard to see what you're doing when you're working with anti-blocks just because they don't have a texture on the outside. And then this row. Oops. There we go. And hey, there we go. And I think we need 1 anti-block there. We do want to keep some sort of opening here. And that side as well. Okay, perfect. So I think that's going to be good for right now. Like I said, we're going to do more decorating. We're going to do some kind of detail work in here. I really like that it's lit up in here, and you can see that even with all this light from the glass, it just doesn't reach down far enough. So here we're 7, 6, right up to 8 again, and we just need to add some more of these lights here, I think, because on this side, there's a little bit of row that's 7 here. So we'll probably do some floor lighting as well. But for now, I think we're just about out of time for this episode, so I'm going to wrap it up there. And hopefully you guys did like this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really enjoyed it, then make sure to subscribe. And as always, I've been BrickWaffle. Thank you for watching.